Previously on Travel Sketch.
Holes, 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 holes.
At the end of the crossbeam video, I said that I was going to show you how it was that our bows were completely rebuilt. Now last week I felt it was more important for you to get that interview, which had been filmed literally the day before.
Robertson Kane was like basically my life.
Say the B9 at the moment.
Yep.
Base boat.
This is not the toy that we're building. They are the ones that committed this fraud.
This video I'm coming back to the crossbeam to show you the process of how it was that our bows were rebuilt. Now that work was started by the original repair team, and a majority of the hours that were spent on it were spent there by Nino. During this time, Nino was still working for the first repair team. When they were removed from the job, he ended up coming back to make things right and finish the boat. While Nino is an outstanding finisher, fairing is actually the part of the job that he is most passionate about. And that's a passion that clearly came through as he worked on creating new bows for Liger. What's really cool around the front here is how these guys have wrapped in the new sections of fiberglass on the front. So like you can see, instead of going into the middle and stopping, they've actually wrapped it over the bow, which will make it stronger. See this piece here, it starts here, up here, and then there's another piece that's rolling over the top of it, which goes up to here. That's overlapped with the piece that goes to here, and it's overlapped. The piece that started here wraps over, down, and into this box section. So it's all knitted in to make this as strong as possible.
Now I'm just moulding the shape at the moment, bringing back the shape, so we can encapsulate that with glass after.
So there'll be more fiberglass going on top of this once you got the shape.
On top of this, and then this has already been encapsulated already, this box. For your crossbar, this has been done 7 times already, but that's not the structural bond. That's just the mat over top. We've got the structural over this. I do love fitting.
You do love it?
I do. Fairly awkward, but this stuff is actually nice to build, play with and build.
Yeah.
If you want to make shapes and stuff, this stuff's actually really good. You know, like I said, the consistency, as long as you get consistency right, like that stuff will not move. That's about it, really. See what I'm going for.
I can see what you're going for.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know it looks a bit mad this at the moment, but we'll see at the end.
In the end, no one will...
Otherwise, if you keep putting it on there, it'll just end up dropping. So you have to just put bit by bit, bit by bit.
I suppose the thing with your repairs...
Sorry?
The thing with your repairs is when you do a good job, nobody ever knows how good your work was.
No, exactly. No, because it's all underneath. No.
You must be out of 404 now.
Yeah, that was the last bit.
What are we going to do now?
Exactly. Well, hopefully when I sand it, I should think that side is pretty much good for glassing over the top.
Nino's keyed this all up again and he's just getting ready to put another layer on.
I was going to try and bring this out, so then maybe we can put something on there.
Yeah.
I mean, because the shape's there, and when we glass it over anyway, it doesn't have to be perfect. What I'm going to do is try and build that out. That's high there, that's high, that's nice there, so we'll fit in between.
Yep.
And then just spot fill in the worst of this, so I'll skim that over.
So how many more layers do you think it'll be a filler?
This would have been, if I had it, obviously we just run out of that now, stop for now. But this would have been second to last.
Okay.
We filled it up now, and hopefully just a spot fill after. Give or take 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So all I've done now, about 3 or 4 I think. I've done 3 fills to get it up to here. I battened it, you see, I've got a bit of wood and stuck it there and back filled it.
Yeah.
So give me the shape. And then obviously I've pulled it up since. I think that's about 4 fills. Could be 5, maybe 6. Let's just do it bit by bit because we can't be doing it perfect. Ta-da.
Magic.
Magic.
Except not.
No.
Just lots of hard work.
Yeah, and a lot of sweat.
Nina was just sanding off that layer that he did yesterday and checking the highs and lows to see if any more filler needs to go on.
I've got to key it up, just get a little scratch in between on the shiny bits, and then I'll be ready to fill it again in a minute. Flick it everywhere.
Yep.
Apologies.
It's alright. I actually think you managed to miss my clothes.
It's amazing. It's amazing when you imagine. You put a suit on, you manage to get it everywhere else. Let's go this way. Very slow.
This week Sam and Nino have been doing a lot of nights and they're working so late that I'm asleep because it's much nicer to be in here laying glass and it's a better temperature to do it if they're working at night. So you can see there's been a huge amount that's been ground back on that side, and that's to facilitate the last structural layers of fiberglass, which they've already started laying on this side. And then it'll be time to do the final grinding and the filling and fairings. You can see the black in here. Now that's actually carbon fiber and it's not necessary for the repair, but there was some available and it could be incorporated into the repair.
Right.
You ready?
Because this one's the messy part. In the bathroom. Ready?
Once Nino had finished creating the shape of the bows using the West Systems products, the next step was to encapsulate the entire thing with layers and layers of structural fiberglass. What not to do has been well and truly demonstrated on this boat already. You don't need to do that.
I can tell you that. I've seen it. I've rounded it off.
Problems with being short ass.
It's alright, I can empathise.
Usually I've got music blaring, singing loud.
I was going to say no one could say that you
then
don't have a good time.
nobody around. I'm having a good time on my own.
Oh no, you're not as alone as you think you are. I get serenaded by you on a regular basis when I'm in the office.
Oh no.
Nothing.
This
They're
is
like
the second
anyone
layer
can
of the
copy it.
second part.
Yeah,
the
anyone
other
can copy
side.
it.
Just
Yeah,
in
but
case
the fact
you get
is,
the footage.
you know you've got the original.
It's all quite logical when you watch it happen, like a lot of things.
Yeah.
It have to be alloy. 24 is too soft.
And then they have control, serious control,
What scares me about it is
as we can in that regard, and then you know you're safeguarded.
you have to.
Physically there.
You hear that? It's quiet.
This is the last one here, but
Well, it's lovely this side, yeah, because it's done 3 on the other side, though, look.
it actually looks really, really good.
Shapes look really good, look.
Like the carbon shimmers. I know it's going to look amazing when it's finished, but all wet like this after you put the carbon on, it's all shimmering in the camera.
Oh, that's really, yeah.
I never intended to film this. But I was just standing here and I was like, Tish, you should film this.
Glass will got the skin. Washing it with hot water before it's open and the glass goes into your skin.
That's it. When you put cold water,
If you've got glass on there,
you don't hold it. You don't hold glass
water.
on the hot. Quite open pores.
Yeah, it closes all your pores and
Yeah.
the glass falls off the skin.
Wait, turn in.
Once the bows were encapsulated with fiberglass, it was time to look at doing gel coat. Now, before gel coat could go down, layers of chop strand and vinyl ester needed to be applied.
I'll just encapsulate everything we've done already. It's already filled glass, just the VE bits I've got on, so I can start filling now. Gel on top of the VE, vinyl ester. Oh, let's say make it less. It's wet underneath there first. Pull that back after. Oh, qui!
Non abbiamo messo.
Oh.
Ci vuole un altro pezzo.
Yeah, see.
You got it up there?
See? Slowly coming together.
Once the VE resin and chop strand had cured, the next layer was vinyl ester filler, the last layer before gel coat would be applied.
Right. Not too bad.
And then is the bottom the same as the front of the bow? You'll pull the two sides down and then come up with
Well,
it?
I
Or?
can pull that way, and then I can pull it that way. Doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? So they both get. It gets a pull because everything's been laid up like strips.
Yeah.
So nothing's been pulled that way. So everything's been laid up that way. So this is just a case of now getting it straight, and then when I pull then I pull everything across, and then that'll show me what's what.
You're really trying to push it into all of the...
Well, just get a tight one, yeah. So just to fill up any tiny little lows. I mean, so you're always going to have your highs, but usually when you use a long one, it'll show you, when you use a long bar, it'll show you all your upper highs. You never finish on the last high, you always go back. Yeah, so you always, you say I've got that high there, and I've got that high there. When I do the next screed, I'll come up, so I'm going there and there.
Oh, you want to try and...
I come back from there,
Yeah.
go that way.
Try and bridge...
Otherwise you'll never bring the shape in.
Yeah.
If you just go to the end of there, you'll just end up with a 50p piece.
Yeah.
You've always got to chase it back. If I draw a line, you draw a line, and then you want to start from carry on the line, so you go over the edge, so a straight line,
Yeah.
and then you go on and carry it on just so you know you're on a proper run. Same sort of principle, even though it's a shape. That's right, come and read a bit more slow. Only more in a minute.
So Nino's been out here the last couple nights working on the bows. They're coming on quite nicely, and we're hoping to start gelling within the next couple of days on the starboard bow. The port bow still has some filler to go on, but they're waiting to get some more filler. But yeah, things are starting to happen now. It's starting to take shape, which is good. So the guys were here till about 1 in the morning last night. And finally got a couple of coats of gel down on the bow. So it's good to see some white going back on the boat. They're still filling and fairing the port side.
Draw them online so I can understand when I touch them up.
It's all looking quite nice.
Yeah, it's pretty much there. It just I need to take some more of that out and then just DA the spot fills really.
So Nino's finished doing his filling and fairing, and now we're just getting set up, ready to start spraying gel coat down. So as you can see, it's all tented in. We've got the compressor set up, we're just mixing gel coat.
Well, I'm just going to test, see if it comes out the gun alright, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
So I've just put in a bit of acetone as well, just put it down. Hopefully we get it down thick enough for the gum.
It's hot and early right now, so I don't look my best. But this looks incredible. I just can't believe how beautifully they've got all of the geometric changes on the bow to look like. Unfortunately, in the period of time just after Nino left, certain areas of the bows were inexplicably sanded, going as far as to remove all of the gel coat in some places, and polished in a way that left visible swirl marks. When he returned, he repaired all of those areas, at Trent's cost, since Leopard refuses to reimburse any work Nino did when directly employed by us. The story then picks back up in this video, with Nino painting the custom artwork on the bows. If everything goes to plan, you will see Nino again, as we should be reunited this hurricane season.